Which card is calling you? Card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4. Hi and welcome to Autumn Crone Intuitive Card Readings. I am Belle and welcome. So welcome to our very first card readings here on our new channel as well. So very awesome to have you. So please check out the cards. There is 4 cards. Which one are you drawn to? And that's the message for you. Do feel free to listen to all, because you never know, there might be other messages there, but definitely always follow your intuition no matter what. Even, you know, if you've picked a card and it's like it doesn't sound right to you, then always listen to your intuition, because you know you better than anybody else. So I am a perimenopause mentor. I am a herbalist, naturopath, life coach. I have qualifications there, and I'm halfway through doing counselling to add into my work as a perimenopause mentor. So I'm here to share the word of perimenopause. It is a taboo subject, so I'm here to bring it out. And because there's so many of us that are going, so if you're 35 plus, please, this could be you. You know, it isn't early in the 30s, but it's still happening, and it's just not spoken about. It's taboo, and I'm seeing so many women suffer because of it. So I'm here to help spread the word of perimenopause and support and guide women through their journey. So really unpacking all the stuff, and really, so when you go into your cronehood, post-menopause, you're there to enjoy life, feel good, and just have the life that you deserve. Because at the end of the day, cronehood can last 30 or 40 years. You may spend the majority of your life in that phase. So because once you're in that phase, that's it till the end. So let's get started. So if you've chosen card 1, let's have a look. I have not flipped these over at all, so I don't know what we're going to get. So card 1, let's have a look. Ooh. So Spirit of the South. So I do get the shakes because I have endometriosis and the medications and stuff, and just the endo. I have it really bad now. Since perimenopause and that is in my mid-30s, it's really shocking. So it's really hard sometimes to keep it still. So I do apologise. So Spirit of the South. So with pagan beliefs and that, each direction, so east, north, south and west, falls in with a element, so earth, water, fire and spirit. So these everyone is in their own when they have them. So take what works for you and leave the rest. So what am I feeling for this? So when I saw this, I actually got like ignite your fire. So if you've drawn to card 1, you know, what is that fire in you? What is that passion? What are those things that you dreamed of doing as a child or wanting to do, but then let's face it, adulthood it isn't as fun as it seemed as when we were in our childhood. So what were some of the dreams or aspirations or that you wanted to do? I'm feeling like for some reason about connecting with someone. You know, is there someone that, okay, so take notice of the people that are around you. So really take notice of your body. Like our body talks to us all the time, right? And there's a beautiful saying, I can't remember who it is, you know, listen to your body when it whispers so you don't have to hear it scream. And that's what's happened with my body. It's screaming, and I've had to learn the hard way. So always listen to your body, and you'll hear me talk about it a lot, and feelings and emotions, all right? Because it's very powerful stuff. Bit of shadow work, bit hard, but it's worth it. So I'm feeling like take notice of the people that are around you. So what I mean by this, so when you're with certain people, stop just within yourself and go, oh, how does my body feel about this situation, about this person? And really notice, you know, if your body has light feelings, I don't call them good, bad, negative, positive, I call them light and heavy. So light is more like you're loving, good feeling, energized, vibrant, all that kind of stuff. Or do you feel heavy? You know, that heavy, dull feeling that you just, or icky or tightness, you know, and where do you feel it? You know, because your body's communicating to you. So I'm feeling like spend more time around people that light your fire, that you feel good, that you feel energized, to really help bring out more of your stuff. I feel like there's things there that are wanting to come out, but some of you are a little bit like, oh, what will the current people think of me? What will, I'm just hearing it, it's going around like in a circle, like what will people think of me? What will people think of me? And if we spend our whole life like that, it's not much of a life. You're living your life for someone else. So I feel like too, you may have, if you follow that inner voice, that inner passion, yes, friends may drop off. You know, not all our friends are here for a lifetime, unfortunately, but fortunately in some cases. But you'll attract those new like beings. So let's pull another card. So I'm reading off the Earthcraft Oracle deck, which I absolutely love. But what's another card to sort of help give us some more in-depth thought, those card one readers or listeners are. Oh yes, so we got medicine. I love the, I'm going to say a lot about these cards. I love a lot of them, and I love the energy part of me that these cards have. So I'm just going to hold that there and have a tea. Oh yeah, Rooibos tea. So I feel like with this card, right, you know how I was saying your inner passion, inner, you know, what is it that you wanted to do, or is there a calling, like, what did you want to do, you know, like, oh, think of it this way, a great way to journal is write down or sit with this, whatever works for you. I'm a big journaler, so you'll hear that lots, is if money and time weren't an issue, so taking that out of the equation, what would I do? And not worrying about like daycare and kids and how it would work, not the logistics. This is getting connected into your heart. Like, what is it, that inner fire? What is it that you want to do in the world? What is it that you want to give back in the world? Like, you know, especially when we get into this age in our 40s and that, when we look at some of the theories, especially what we do in counselling and stages and that, you know, we're at a stage now that we're like, okay, we're not the current generation, we're getting the older generation. There's a new generation coming through, and what way can I give back? What way can I help the next generation? And it's definitely a different generation, that's for sure. Like, we're like, what the, considering a lot of our kids fall into that. Just very different outlook to life and beliefs and way of doing it. But so what is it that you want to do? So, you know, it might need to, you know, get back out in nature or get your feet on the earth, just trying to find calmness. And what I'm finding at the minute with this is those that are there, it's like very overstressed, lots going on, there's so much happening, and it's like, oh, how can I work this in? This is about quietening your mind, quietening that. You know, in perimenopause we feel extra stressed as it is because of the change of the fluctuating hormones. So when estrogen drop, cortisol can drop. So that's why you might find you know, like for me, I might have anxiety. The feelings of that would be exacerbated. I'd feel like I'm having anxiety attacks for no reason at all. Trip you out, like, until I knew about perimenopause, which was years later. But so we need to really look at and do a stress evaluation of your life. You know, what stresses are there? What can you control? What can't you control? And how can you, this is a time of looking at like doing life that works for you. In our mother phase, whether you had children or not, there's still lots of outgoing nurturing. We're nurturing others, whether it's career, parents, family members, or career and job, you know, nurturing your job, or fur babies, or actual human babies, whatever it is. There's a lot of nurturing outwards. So when we get to perimenopause, it's about, I'm getting goosebumps, it's about turning that in and nurturing yourself. It's learning to nurture yourself, because we've nurtured so much of others that now we've kind of neglected ourselves, and you're going to be feeling it. And you may find perimenopause symptoms are exacerbated because there's that extra stress and all that sort of stuff. So it's just so exacerbated. So it's really important to do that stress evaluation of your life. Just sit back and watch. You know, another way to help find your medicine, I'm hearing, is, you know, even ask those around you. You know, if you could see me doing anything, what would it be? Or what do your friends come to you for? You know, like I used to get a lot of it that come, and it was, not that I realise it now, until now, like counselling sessions, coaching sessions, and really helping people. I'm one of those ones, people from a very young age would come and tell me their deep, dark secrets and lifelong stories, and I just met them, and they're like, I don't know why I felt like telling you that, but I felt like I had to. I'm like, it's okay, happens all the time. Do you know what I mean? So, and now that I'm studying counselling, I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense. So I'm like, well, I did want to do counselling when I was 15, but, you know, life stuff happens. See, life stuff happens. So what is it for you? Yes, life stuff happens, but what is it for you that you want to do? What is it? What is your heart calling? What is it? And it doesn't mean you have to go stop doing everything, but it's about taking baby steps for it. It might be going to the library and borrowing books on that topic and just slowly reading up about it, or starting a page up and just sharing, or, you know, it's tiny baby steps. It's not It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen if you take action steps and those baby steps, you know, really listening to your intuition too. Like, you know, like I've been doing this, I've been going to spiritual churches with family members since my teenage years. I think I was 15 when I first went, and I've been to meditation groups. So, you know, was in a convent in my early 20s and studied Reiki, and when I was doing my nursing and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, but it's like, I've found that, yes, since hitting perimenopause, my intuition, it's calling me, it's a bit stronger. Your BS radar gets really on cue and on, you know, there's just cuts out that BS. There are some really good things about perimenopause, and it's about our beliefs and how we are and want to live and all that kind of stuff. So for card 1, that's Spirit of the South. So that was more about that igniting that fire and that passion within. And what is it? Like, it's not about necessarily taking action now, but connect with it, feel with it. What messages does it have for you? And this is, and with that card we pulled the Medicine Woman. The light's really funny in here. I've got a window and I've had it open, I get really ghost looking. So yeah, beautiful card. So that was card 1. If that resonated with you, feel free to leave a comment down. Love to hear your feedback or something. And feel free to share if you feel like somebody else can benefit from these readings. And welcome to card 2. So let's see what card 2 is, because I haven't seen it. Oh, soul loss. It's funny when you can pull cards and just all this stuff, you get this wash of stuff, like, oh, okay, so, you know, especially in perimenopause phase, so that could be anyone from 35 plus, normally between 35 and 40. It can be seen as insufficient and all that sort of stuff, but I think the way our diet and food and stress life is today, that's why it happens a lot earlier than later, but 40s and that. So I feel like, you know, if you're not feeling the same, because, you know, you might be finding your periods, because perimenopause, people think your periods get short, like further apart, and they do in the later phase of that stage of perimenopause. But in the first phase, it can actually get shorter. Mine were down to 20 days before I had a hysterectomy. So you could be getting shorter. So just changes in your period cycle, but always do get it checked out, because they can be things like cancer, fibroids, endometriosis, adenomyosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So please do get it checked out, no matter what. If you think you're in perimenopause and you haven't had a health check, do have a health check, because there can be other stuff. So amongst mine, yes, I had adenomyosis, and I found out I had endometriosis as well. So throw that in with perimenopause, and oh my goodness. But anyway, but if you're not, you can find that you're not feeling yourself, you're feeling off, you know, you might be gaining weight and no changes that you're noticing. It when that happens, it's your metabolism, because this is the time we start slowing down. We're supposed to be, but society is like, ah. Anyway, that's another rant I could go into, but I'm feeling like this. It's through and the reason why I have autumn crone, it is a phase and it's a transition into that cronehood, post-menopause, and it's like, it's a time for letting go. And, you know, and I've found there's a lot of grief in this part as well, for grieving the old part of yourself. And this is where I think it sucks that we're not told about perimenopause, is because it comes upon you before you know it. And you're like, if I had known, maybe in that, like my mother phase, you know, I would have taken more care of myself. I would have like enjoyed myself, appreciated myself now, because, you know, I don't have the energy I had. I used to, like, off spoons and due to chronic illness, but I definitely don't have the energy or, yeah, just the body, I don't know, like to do everything I used to. And I hear so many other women saying the same, like, just can't do what I used to, you know, I'm studying, definitely can't do all-nighters, last-minute rushes, like anything like that. Those days are long gone. But there's that grief of, you know, just being able to do the stuff that I used to be able to do. So what I'm feeling, if you're in card 2, is, are you noticing that things are different? And the thing is, it's about letting this go, about saying, okay, this is an ending, because with all endings, you can't have a new beginning without an ending. And endings are painful. This could be an ending of job career, or it could be relationships of any sort, you know, whether it's family, partner, children, friendships, colleagues, or anything like that, you know. And I feel like it's saying soul loss, this is about honouring that, honouring that death part and that grieving part. Your grief is, if you're feeling sad and grief is there, honour that. Like, it doesn't matter if it seems superficial to others or whatever, that's not what it's about. It's not about comparing, it's about honouring that grief. And in society, we do not, it's another taboo subject. Like, it's, why is death so taboo? It's guaranteed for all of us, and we're not here, all of us, unfortunately, for a long time. I think getting old's a privilege, because it's a privilege so many don't get to have. So spend that time saying goodbye and honouring the new. It's not going to be the same. Do you know what I mean? And it's not meant to. We're not meant to. We're humans. We're meant to evolve. You know, you always have the right to change your mind. Because I don't know about you, but I still wouldn't want to be the same, have the same thoughts and opinions I did at 15 to what I do now in my 40s. You know, so it's really allowing that. And also too, when I'm feeling like this, there's a lot of water, emotion, I can feel the crying too. So what happens during perimenopause too is, you know, those things we're taught to stuff down. Good girls don't get angry, and we please everyone, we're nurturing and all that kind of stuff. So we push things down. And what seems to happen, I'm noticing, my little theory, is all these things, because in perimenopause, we're literally changing from the inside out. Our body is going through a change. It's a second puberty. You look at how you went from a little child to puberty, well, that's another change. So it's all happening again. And so what happens is all those things that we stuff down are going to be coming to the surface. So you may be thinking of things that, events in the past, or thoughts of people, or things just popping randomly and all that sort of stuff. It's not random, it's stuff coming up to the surface. So, you know, and it took me a long time to learn to cry and embrace my emotions. Very lucky I have an amazing husband that's been very encouraging and supporting, and it's been the best thing ever. Hard, extremely hard, but the best thing ever. So, you know, and you might just feel sad too. Honour those tears. Tears are, it's one of those things, you know, I don't know if you know the Bear Hunt. I worked in childcare too many decades ago. And, you know, the Bear Hunt book was always a huge hit, and, you know, we'd make up little obstacles, courses or things for the kids to enact the thing out. And it's, you know, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, can't go around it, you're going to have to go through it. So this is what we're being taught, is with our emotions and feelings, do, you know, go around them, avoid them, you know. But no, this card is actually asking us to go through them. So you're going to be finding things coming up, and honouring those emotions. You know, you may find you need to see a counsellor or a psychologist or talk to somebody. Like, that is a good thing. That is a healthy thing. Like, these things, as hard as they can be to come up, the more that you move through them, the lighter and better you're going to feel. Like, it's a game changer. I'm noticing in my energies and things. I'll share things as I go on, but, you know, there's a lot of things I've had to work through and things that have come up. You know, there's been sexual abuse, and I've been doing healing on it consciously for over 20 years, and stuff still come up, but I had a huge breakthrough not that long ago. So, you know, and it was just like, oh my God, it's had a huge shift, like a real deep jar. That was like, oh my God, that was huge. And there was a lot of messy, snotty tears involved in that. Like, it just poured out, and, you know, and Dave was there. So just holding space for me, not having the answers. It's about holding space. So let's see what else. Let's have another shuffle. So that's the back of one. What else is there for this? Oops, look, this one jumped out, came flying out. So what have we got? Forest bathing. I'm just trying to, that might be better. So forest bathing. So this is about getting out in nature. This is about connecting with those energies. You know, I was saying about de-stressing and in the other card, but it's also too about getting out. And when I say get out in nature, it's because also too the oxygen around where there is more trees and that is a lot more dense. It's a lot more nutrient. When you go to places like, say, in the cities and all that sort of stuff where there isn't much trees or anything like that, the air quality is a lot not as good. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no trees there and that to filter it and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, going either sitting in a park or sitting under a tree or walking through a forest and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, that's going to be very cleansing and very, it's also going to help bring clarity too, you know, just let it all out in that. And what I'm seeing here too, and this is the whole thing about honouring our loss, honouring our grief, right? So when we move through it, right, and feel those feelings and move through it, right? See the eggs in our head? New beginnings. So, you know, those eggs are starting to crack open, new beginnings and all that sort of stuff. It's really hard to have new beginnings and things that, you know, we really want to begin when we've still got the old hanging around. We haven't closed that door. We haven't moved through it to be able to have that full ending for new beginnings to happen. So what I'm saying is, yes, it may feel hard. Remember, you have survived your worst days already. You are a survivor. You're a warrior, you know, so keep going, you know, reach out if you need to, all that sort of stuff. But with it, by doing that, it is really powerful. It feels really shit in the moment, like especially doing shadow work can feel really shit heavy and gross. I also have another soul sister that I can talk to where you are. We get on the phone and go, oh my God, why am I doing this? Why do we, it's like torturing ourselves. Why are we doing this? And then, you know, then we have a good laugh about it. And then a couple of weeks later, like, oh, that was so good. I feel so much better. I'm so glad I did that, you know. Very big shadow workers cleaning, you know, going into, and shadow work's going into those dark parts of yourself that we want to hide, deny, feel shameful about or guilty about. And doing shadow work is taking your light into those shadows. And there is good things in shadows too. Like, my approach is very different. You know, we go back to visit those things. We don't go back to stay. We're not there to pick up where we left off and relive them. It's to visit, and it's to look at, what did you learn from it? What did you gain from it? These are the eggs. These are the nuggets in it. What did you learn? What did you gain? And even look at, what would you do differently, right? And this is not to get caught up from that. Again, we just visit it. But if that situation arose again, what would you do differently? If you can say that you would do it differently, congratulations, you have learned. You're evolving. Some of it doesn't feel fun. I totally get it. We've all got chapters we'd love to stick together and throw away and just never think of again. We've all got them. But not asking you to display it out on Facebook and social media, but it's going to help you massively. You are worth this work and doing it, because, you know, it's really hard carrying that shit around, and it's going to get harder carrying it around, especially through perimenopause and into cronehood. But shifting it to make it work for you is so powerful, and you've got this. Thank you. Welcome to card 3. Let's have a look at what card 3 is. Ooh, light. You know, I know these are in chapters, this YouTube, this video, but it's interesting how, like, you could choose a card, and even if you're drawn to all, you may be drawn to 2 of them or 3 of them or all of them, that is perfectly okay. So it's quite interesting, the cards that have come out even before. So card 3, if you're, because I haven't checked the cards before, I only flip them over when, now, in the video. This is a time to, oh, okay, so this is, yes, about shining your light through, but I'm also feeling something like rest, right? So it is time to rest. It is time to truly rest. Like, and I don't say that lightly, because say she's floating back, I'm just feeling restful. I'm getting that, oh, rest. And the reason I'm like, oh, because I know, for me, rest has been something that I've had to do shadow work on, and it's a continual work. And, you know, I grew up, you know, with those conditioning beliefs. Resting is for the lazy, and, you know, if you're sitting around doing nothing, you're lazy, and, you know, it's bad to be lazy, you'll be a bum, and all that kind of stuff. So we're in a society that goes, go, 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 go. And I mean, you even hear it, like, at people's funerals, oh, you know, she was so amazing, she just kept going, she gave everything she got, and now she's dead. I'm missing the point on that. She gave so much that she ran herself into the ground and got sick, and now she's dead. I know that's really cold and blunt, but seriously, why are we condoning and patting people on the back saying, well done, you know, you just gave it all you got until you got really sick, and now you're really sick and dying. Like, wow, well done. No, that's not what life's meant about. But the thing is, this is what really shook me, and I heard it somewhere because I listened to podcasts and all that sort of stuff, or it might have been on Instagram, I don't know. And it was like, I really want to be the best wife, mother, and person I can be. But how can I be if I don't take care of myself? Now, I'm not saying I spend all day taking care of myself. I also have a chronic illness, a disability, and it's endometriosis, and it's really severe and debilitating. But anyway, so I really need to take care more of myself, because if I don't, I crash and burn really badly and I get flares. I can be fine 1 minute and I can be in agony the next. It's just, we've gone out many times and had to come home. Even in the car before we got there, I'm like, I don't feel well, I've got to go home. Like, it's fine 1 minute, gone the next. Oh, not gone, that's not really cool. But resting. So where are you with resting? What comes up for you, like when your body's, you either hear your body whisper or scream, and the whispers are much nicer than the screams. So what do you feel about resting? Get the journal out, like put the word resting. What does resting mean to you? What comes up? What were you told as a child? This is doing the deep work, the shadow work. Because I found it really hard. Like, even yes, I'd have to lay in bed because that's all I could bloody do, but I just had guilt and my mind, which then would lead to my spiking my anxiety, would spike, I'd not be depressed, but I'd get depressing feelings and really beat up on myself and all that sort of stuff, which only exacerbated my symptoms worse. So I've had to do a lot of work on resting, and I am getting a lot better. I work out it's easier to go, all right, get what I have to get done. If I don't, it can wait. Rest today, I'm all right the next day. If I push through, it can take me days or weeks to recover. So where are you with resting? What comes up for you? What's coming up with this when I'm resting is, what happens to your thoughts when you rest? Because when we're busy, we can, some things it's just too hard. Just put it in the too hard basket. Don't want to. So I'm feeling like, what thoughts are you running from? What thoughts are coming up? Why are we keeping busy all the time to avoid rest? What's coming up for us? Because some people don't like to rest because they start remembering things. What's coming up? Get a journal out, write these things down. If you need to see someone, absolutely see someone. A therapist of some sort, counsellor, psychologist, they do different things, psychotherapy, there's art therapy, there's so much more available now. Just be careful in Queensland, because not all, you can call yourself a counsellor without having any qualifications, but that is going to be changing. That's another story. So, what's coming up with you for rest? What are those thoughts? What's stopping you? And the thing is, why you're trying to avoid it, because you can't, because it's that stuffing things down, it's going to keep coming. And that resistance, what you resist will persist. It will keep going, and eventually it will stop you and you'll face it. So it's up to you when you want to face it and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like going through it and doing it and facing those thoughts and all that sort of stuff is going to have huge, you may not feel it in the time as you're moving through it, but when you get to the other side, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I wish I'd done this sooner. I feel so much lighter, easier. And it's interesting, the energy, you can feel the energy flowing through your body way more. So let's pull another card to see what comes out for card 3. I'm taking my time there. It's interesting, sometimes I can feel the energy with the cards, so it's like, okay, take this slow. This isn't, if you've gotten card 3 and that's resonating with you, then this is a baby step process. This isn't going to be done like that. Healing can take, it's like an onion. It's a never ending onion until you die. It's like you peel back the onion. So you might find things that you, like for me, like I've sexually abused, and I've been doing active healings on it for over 2 decades, and stuff like a couple of months ago came up. But it was huge, but it was good. No, it didn't feel good because I knew it was coming, and I was like, quick, hide it. Dave, there's a Pandora's box there on it. And I know it's about the abuse, and, but it came up and it was hard. There was a lot of messy, snotty tears and all that. So when I was talking about that light and stuff coming up and that, this is a slow process. And what can happen to is, like, you can hear, so like with the sexual abuse, I did some stuff 20 years ago, and stuff over the years have come up. And I used to go, why is it coming up? I've done this work, why is it coming up? And, then beat myself up. But what happened is, when I was doing my naturopathy studies, one of my lecturers had said to me, what happens is, if it comes up, it's because you've learnt and grown since the last time, and now you can do it deeper and deeper. And some things can take a bit to get down, so Like I said, am I completely healed of the sexual abuse? I don't know. Stuff may come up, but you know what? At the minute, I'm in a good place with it, and I don't have that heavy sinking, pulling feeling anymore. Oh, such a relief. So this is a process, and it's going to take time to get there. I have the second card here. Oh, thunderstorm. I'm feeling like with this, when I hear thunderstorm, so things, you know, dealing with our stuff coming up is going to be challenging and hard. But the thing is, after every storm is a rainbow. You've got this, you know, reach out if you need to, get your support people, you know, even if it's your doctor and on mental health plans and all that sort of stuff, or a counsellor, or is there someone in your life that you can talk to, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, because we need to be starting to come together and help each other and support each other. That's why we have the Autumn Crone membership, is to do that while women are going through all these changes and all this sort of stuff, and we do work clearing out the stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, and thunderstorms can be beautiful, they can be scary and beautiful, but there's always a rainbow. So again, this work, there's going to be a few storms, but you've survived your worst days already. Like, remember that you are way stronger and more powerful than you'll ever give credit for. You know, look at some of the things you survived, those hardships, those traumas, those pains. You've survived them. You know, you've got this. So that was the first card for card 3. And then it was with the thunderstorm. See how, like, see here, the thunderstorm, this is your heart chakra, sort of in between the breasts there. You know, this storm, it's cracking you open, you know, it's letting go. Like, I looked at it, and the reason why with my sexual abuse, I did healing since in my early, like, 20, was because I didn't want to carry that hurt and anger. The damage was done, and it was, you know, traumatic. But the thing is, I didn't want to keep carrying that hurt and anger and it affect my daily life, because the thing is, the things that we shove down, you know, we only use about 5% of our brain. So that 5% is our conscious. That 95% is our unconscious, subconscious, right? And it's playing stuff. So the things that we've shoved down and all that sort of stuff are still bubbling away. They play out in your daily life, whether you're aware of it or not. Even when you have arguments with people, little passionate conversations, I like to call them, they're playing out from your childhood, something that's happened in the past, if you want to get to the core and all that sort of stuff, but that's another day. So that was card 3. So let me know below how did this resonate, what came up for you. You don't have to share if you don't want to. And if you feel like this could help somebody else, please share. Thank you. Welcome to card 4. Let's flip her over and see what she says, because I don't look at them. So birch. Oh gosh. It's funny when readers do that pull card, or they giggle, they say something, because it's like, normally I do it because there's a wash of stuff come up with it. So, and it's interesting, you know, if you feel called, listen to the other cards, because I feel like there's a bit of a theme. So, you know, you can choose one, you might be called to 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, or all 4 cards. Have a read, see what, you know, you might find some things. Listen to your intuition, it'll tell you what's there for you. You know, I always say, when in the past when we've done readings in our groups and stuff like that, it's like, you know, someone will say, oh, you're reading for such and such, but I felt like that related to me. And I'm like, yeah, because we're all come together collectively. There can be messages in there of others, like, listen to your intuition. You know your body better than you, and your intuition always guides you. So, badge. So what am I feeling? When I feel this card, it's that deep emotion, deep, I don't know if it's sadness, but it's like there's a lot of stuff that's been shoved down the side. Like, there's a lot of this in the other cards, so it's quite interesting. So, you know, as we go through perimenopause, all those things that we've had to stuff down, you know, like, we're a society that's very based on logic and using your brain. When it comes to emotional intelligence, I think society, that's a real big downfall. We're not taught to, you know, boys don't cry, girls don't get angry, all that horse poo. We have all these emotions. They are all human emotions. I don't like what is it, light, dark, negative, positive. I don't like that's not how I call it. I heavy and light. If you look at feelings of love and laughter and excitement, you know, how does it feel in your body? Like for me, it feels very light. I can feel the energy and like I feel really good in that, like those kind of feelings. When I'm angry, and it's okay to be angry, like it's part of being human. It's not like good girls don't get angry, or you know, you shouldn't get angry. You're freaking human. Yes, you do. Like, and they're just heavy. Take notice when when you're sad or anxious or angry or hurt or whatever. How does it feel in your body? For me, like you can see, I just dropped. I'm like, ugh, you know, and I feel a lot in my stomach. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, how do these feelings feel, you know? So really listening to your body and taking notice of your body. In perimenopause phase, it's really challenging because we are literally changing from the inside out. Like it's like going from that little girl and going through puberty into a woman. Well, this is your second puberty. You're going from motherhood to cronehood. And when I say motherhood, it doesn't mean that you have to have children biologically. There's other ways to mother and nurture a career, parents, animals, like there's lots of other things, but there is that outside nurturing. Eldon Crone's about that inner nurturing. You have plenty of practice given it, and now it's time to give it to yourself. So I feel like, you know, if you're feeling like you're having more blue days, down days, what's going on? You know, I really think like perimenopause is a great time to have some therapy, talk to somebody, get it out. You know, we've been taught to stuff down so much. So I feel like with this Burge, it's really about, because of the colour blue and just her face, so it's closing our eyes, going within this, when we get to Autumn Crone, is a real big, deep inner journey, and it's a lot of clearing out the shit and conditioning and crap that we've been through and we've suffered and all that kind of stuff. So, and it's okay to feel these emotions, you know, as we teach our kids, but especially one at the moment, you know, he is emotional and we're trying to teach him that's a good thing. Honour your emotions. There's a time and place, you know, and it's things like anger, you know. Anger is a normal human emotion. It's completely normal to feel it. Absolutely. All right? But what we do with it and how we work through it, all right, is what the issue is, okay? So feeling those emotions where we're hitting someone or, you know, hole in the wall or road rage and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not appropriate and it's not healthy. It is extremely unhealthy. What is healthy is doing something like you might want to go for a walk, feel that energy. I know, like we'll go for a power walk and then you can feel, okay, I'm running out of steam now. I felt it. We've got to move through it. That bear hunt, we have to go through it. Going around, under and over is just pushing it down and avoiding it. All right, you know, like we teach him, like, and the other kids can do it ourselves, you know, like for me, I might, if I'm in the car, put some music on and scream it out, because that anger energy can be really intense, you know, and or scream in a pillow or hit a pillow or do some active work or, you know, like feel it, but in a healthy way. There's a difference between healthy and unhealthy. And I did mention road rage. Road rage is a great sign that somebody has really stuffed all their stuff down and stuffing it down. You know, you can only stuff down so much and then it explodes, and in a moment road rage is happening. Because really, if someone cut you off, yes, it is annoying and it is scary, but does it really deserve all that anger and rage thrown at someone? No. This goes to show that emotional intelligence is really lacking in our society, because it's not dealing with our emotions and we're having these outbursts and all that kind of stuff. That is not healthy. So it's really looking at emotions and going, okay, it's okay for me to be angry, but what I do with it is my choice, and I can choose to do it healthy or unhealthy. So this Birch card is really about looking at your emotions, feeling them. Where do you feel them in your body? You know, a lot of stuff comes up in perimenopause, like all that shit that we've been bubbling down for decades and the conditioning from society around that. And this doesn't mean we go, you know, hate on our caregivers and parents and all that sort of stuff. Yes, there's some bad shit there, but this is about healing and making it work for you, not against you. Because when we hold on to all that stuff, it really goes against us. And that stuff that's, you know, 95% happening in the subconscious is all that stuff playing out in your daily life. So you might notice themes, you know, drama or, you know, same shit different day kind of thing. Well, there's something deeper going on. It's been presented to you in the present moment from something that was from the past. So really looking into, stepping back, where does this stem from? You know, or somebody did something and you're like, oh, that really peed me off. Why did that pee me off? Get curious about your mind. Be that little 2-year-old, but why? But why did I get angry? Why does that really pee me off? Where does that come from? So get really inquisitive. We do this kind of work more a bit in the AC and the Autumn Crow membership, and really treating ourselves with compassion, kindness and love, and with a curious mind. That's what we've been doing this month actually. Really clearing out those shadow work. The shadow is, we've all got a shadow. It's the parts of us that we hide away from others and even ourselves we don't like. We either got shame or guilt or anything like that. But it's about shining your light in it, and perimenopause is about that, doing that, shining that light in those shadows, clearing it out so you can enjoy the rest of your life. You may spend your cronehood post-menopause, you may spend 30 or 40 years, you may spend the most of your life in that phase. So let's make it good. Let's make it fun and feel good and, all that kind of stuff. So I like to pull another card rather than pull a pile of cards. Let's see. What card is there, or another message, or part of the message for card 4? The shift. Yay! You haven't seen this one. It's interesting how I've used these cards, and I love these cards. And the women that created them, I love the vibe, and I don't know, it just feels amazing. But it's interesting how you pull out cards in for yourself and use them that you don't get, like a lot of these cards I've seen before. This one, I've seen it, but not in a reading. But it really goes on to that, doing that shadow work, doing that deep work, and that curious mind, and really getting to the core of things, right? That's what this brings, the shift. Like, you look at this card, look how blue it is, and blue's emotion, all that stuff, a lot of deep stuff there, a lot of stuff going on, stuff coming up, but it's that inner journey, right? And then by doing that work, right? Look at that. Yep, there's still stuff there up here. It's always going to be there. There's other stuff coming up, and it's about creating a free guidebook, rite of passage, and it's about building resilience in during menopause. Why? Because you know what? Shit is going to happen. Stuff happens in the world. We have no control over it. You can be the most peaceful, mindful person, but shit is still going to come up, because that's life, right? There's things we just don't have control over. So it's learning to clear out the cobwebs and all that other heavy stuff, shine some more light in your shadows, so that when shit does happen, because it will happen, I can guarantee you that. I don't know what, but it will happen. All right, you're connected to you. You're connected to your inner strength, and you can go, right, how can I react or respond to this situation? This is that cronehood where we're stepping into, clearing out that stuff and opening up our wisdom and knowledge and our intuition. I know I've been doing this work, it's part of my family. There's a huge stuff with my family, I'm intuitive and psychic, or whatever you want to call it. What is SEP? No, what is my second cousin? I can't remember what she calls it. Having a blank. So that's why I'm like, yeah, let's do. And I've been feeling the pull to do readings. I've been going to readers. The last one I had was about 18 months ago, before my surgery, and she turned around and said to me, and I'm like, trying to blow smoke up my horn, but she turned around and said, you can do these readings, and she goes, you can do these a lot better than men. I'm like, but I've never had someone say that. But I've had a lot of people, when I go through readings, I shuffle and they stop and look at me and go, you can do these. I'm like, yeah, but not for myself. So I'm really starting to tap into my own intuition, and in the free guidebook, one of the key areas is intuition, because it really does open up. So the shift, lots of good things there, lots of things coming, and look at the water. It's in his hands now. He's working his emotions and all that kind of stuff. So and the tree, coming out, the groundedness and all that sort of stuff, knowing when to react, knowing when to respond. So reacting is when somebody fires off at you, you react back. It's like putting petrol. It's like trying to put a fire out fuel. You're like, you said this, no, I said that. That's reacting. It's a reaction. It's like, because when something happens, we have a tiny split second to react or respond. And responding is going, right, I can choose to react with anger or I can choose to react with love. What's going to give me a better outcome? Putting fuel, petrol on a fire, or putting water on a fire? Big difference depending on what sort of fire. But anyway, let's not get technical, Virgo brain. You know, so lots of good things come from doing this work. It is powerful work. It's messy. Like, it's really messy, but oh my God, it's so worth it. And I'm just like, I love how these cards, with what comes through, and they just support each other and all that kind of stuff. It is worth doing the work. All right, so that was card 3. I'll just show again so you can see if you need to pause them. And, you know, you might even want to pause them and sit with these cards and see what comes up for you. So they were the 2 cards there. That was the first card that would have been in the photo, and this was the card that I pulled to go with this reading. All right, let us know, how did that resonate with you, what came up for you, and feel free to comment. And if you feel like this could help somebody, either tag them or share it, that'd be also greatly appreciated. All right, look forward to doing the next one. Bye.